comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
Come on.
That's great, because you got about 5 minutes till I'm done, and then you can move to the comedy. Like I said, my name is Bobby Pope. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, originally. Thank you very much. From the Deep South, I can tell you one thing from growing up there. There are not a lot of deep people in the Deep South. I'll tell you that 100%. It's like growing up with a bunch of Down syndrome philosophical Forrest Gumps. You know? Where the universal question is not so much why, but what for? Or the math tonight, Bobby, no, I'm doing my homework. What for? Hey, Bobby, have pain, you know, have steak and eggs for breakfast every day of your life. No, I don't really want that. You know, I want to live to see 40. You know, what for? What you doing, Bobby? Oh, I'm reading a book. What for? Maybe so I don't live here, for Christ's sake. So I moved to LA about 2.5 years ago, and I have to say that it's my second home. I love it with all of my heart. One tiny criticism. If you're planning on leaving this bar tonight and you're planning on walking home, if you're planning on doing any walking ever, and you plan on crossing the street in this our fair city, move your ass! Okay? What is it about the malaise that washes over people when they walk, they come into the city, they're just on the 15 coming in, it's like, man, it's gonna be Los Angeles, man, we're gonna party down to me. Shit. You just don't care. And it's across all races, creeds, and religions. It's just, you will piss everyone off by walking across the street. They have this problem in about 0 part of the country, okay? Unless you grow up in a bumfuck town like I live in, when you may have run into a goat. Okay? Other than that, get across the street. If you're in Chicago, they will run your ass down. If you're in New York, they will accelerate while they do it. Okay? And it's everyone. You either have fat white tourists just staring at the buildings, go. And then they don't know if they should cross. Should I cross? Should I not cross? I gotta get over there, but you know, there's a multicultural crowd. I'm afraid of minorities. Then you have 30-something black couple who are arguing, and she's not having any of his shit crossing the street. And he's talking to his cell phone, talking to his friend, like, man, you gotta come pick us up, because I'll be damned if she's getting a ride home without me. Then they get halfway over, and he brings her back, and you're like, just cross the street! You have a heavy-set Latino day worker who's been working his ass off all day long, and he decides that in the middle of the road is the time that it's a little hot outside. 47 goddamn degrees all day, I'm a little parched. Gotta take my time. And the last one I hate the most, and I'm sorry about this, but when I moved to Los Angeles 2.5 years ago, I lived in south of downtown near USC in the Harvard Heights community. What up? And it's on the corner of Shotgun and Death, where Koreatown meets south of Pico, everyone. And so the main problem, day in, day out, was Asian teenagers crossing the street. I don't know what it is, but they all have a cell phone and they're all just texting. And they're not looking, and it can be 3, 2, 1 on the crosswalk, by God, they're taking That's it, they give you one glance. One. That's it. I mean, do I have to strap a fucking lizard to the hood of my car and drive through downtown to get you? Oh, God! Godzilla joke. Welcome to the show. That's where we're headed. It's a lack of communication. That's where we're headed. You know, I read today that like Michelle Bachmann, presidential Michelle Bachmann, recently said in the New Yorker that the problem with America today is not the economy or social responsibility by anyone. No. The problem is the Renaissance. Not 1960s free love, social revolution, Renaissance. The fucking Renaissance! 500 years ago, Renaissance. That's the problem. And she said, in her mind, that, you know, the humanistic views of prominent people during the day, like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo and Donatello, some of the greatest thinkers the world has ever known, apparently their humanistic views were too secular, and they brought us out of the forward-thinking, progressive Dark Ages. Which is what she would like to be. In the Dark Ages. You all remember the Dark Ages, right? Where you could die of the common cold and have it blamed on ghosts? We were all there, right? Like, oh, I got a little cough there, Jedediah. Oh, really? It's the power of Jesus. Bring it out of you. That's all it is. It's just a lack of communication. I think, I used to think that the currency of what everyone was trying to sell us in our lives was actual currency. They're just trying to figure us out so they could put us in a smaller box and in that way, try to sell us something, There's no red states, there's no blue states, there's just a way for them to divide us into a smaller box so they could sell us something. Now I think the actual currency is ideas. It's all about what can they sell you metaphorically in order to believe. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's because we grow up day in, day out, and we have these ideas that are just thrown at us, there are three groups of people. There are people who grow up believing what their parents believe their entire lives. There's nothing you can tell them. Whatever they were first taught, my God, they're hanging on to it, And you have the second group of people who get to college, and they're like, man, you mean I can drink all I want, have as much sex? Fuck, man, let's do it. Woo! This is LA. Then you have the third group of people who take what they've learned, and they take what they're going to learn, and they form their own opinions and everything. But you never see those. What you see is people just filling your head with stuff, and you have to have some sort of responsibility. I remember I was in college, and I was watching CNBC. Don't ask me why. Probably because I was delirious from my rigorous afternoon masturbation schedule. So I'm watching CNBC, and I look on, and it's the National Pro-Choice Abortion Rally in Washington, D.C. And there's like a bunch of people out there, and it's great. Pro-choice, you can do whatever you want. A tiny woman comes up, she's the keynote speaker, and she gets to the front of the stage. She's so happy. And she goes, we're going to have a lot of great poetry today. Woo! And we're going to have great music today. Woo! And then she goes, isn't it great to be alive? Abortion rally. It makes no sense. If I were in court, let's say, the court of public opinion, and the prosecution steps up and they're like, we're for pro-choice, and I would just like to say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as my opening statement, isn't it great to be alive this morning? If I was the defense, pro-life, my response would be this. Thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself. You guys have been absolutely amazing. My name is Bobby Poe.